welcome to this episode of Brewed. Why am I dressed like this? That's a good question. It's because there is a lot going on. This episode of Brewed, we're going to take you through some exciting new projects. It's what's new in Quad City Brew on this episode of Brewed. We are in LeClaire in this colossal building. This is Cities Brewing. And this is the, Scott, what would you call this? The production hub?
We just call it the production facility.
Production facility. I think hub sounds sexier, but you do you.
We can change it.
I'm going for that now.
We've been hearing about this building, it seems like for a long time. And the construction took a little bit longer than maybe you would have liked due to a variety of reasons, I suppose. But now you are up and running, and the spent grain out front, or I guess that's in back, and the sounds of these tanks, it sure sounds like you're making beer.
Yep, pretty much. We do a lot of it now. There's a lot more of it.
I mean, when you compare what you have at 53rd Street, where the tap room is, and then this facility with what you've got back here, it's quite a gigantic leap.
Yeah, what the?
Is Patrick coming back?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
We've never in the history of the show had that happen. And also, should I have run too? Like, it seemed you guys were taking off so quickly. Was I ever in any imminent danger?
No.
Okay.
No, not imminent.
Imminent, not imminent.
Not imminent.
So, yeah.
Did that work?
I feel like I should have gotten up and ran too. You guys, you're on it? Everything's good?
We're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
That was just a noise to let you know that something was
Time to push a button.
time to push a button.
Yeah, we
Okay.
just thought we'd make a bigger deal of it.
Now, Patrick, you've never been on the show before.
I have not.
Scott's been on the show enough times that we're getting a silk jacket made for you. It's going to be marvelous.
You get those like Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. He's on the Five Timers Club. Tell us about your experience, where you came from. You're from here originally, and then you went away, and now you're back, the conquering hero.
Yeah, I don't know what to call it that. I worked at Bent River for like 7 years, and then I left Bent River to go to Octopi in Wanakee, so Madison, and then left there to go to Carbon 4. And so, then I heard this place was hiring, and they made an offer like 5 years to the day.
5 years to the day, 5 Cities Brewing. I mean, if you're into numerology, this is
Oh, man, I didn't even
mind-blowing
think about
stuff. So what exactly do they have you doing here?
I'm running the production facility over here, so making sure that all of this is going to run smoothly.
So this is your domain, and then 53rd Street is your domain, but how does this work then? Because I see, Crushing on Amber, which is easily one of my favorite beers at 5 Cities. I'm gonna make a leap here and guess that all of this was built so that I'll start seeing this on store shelves.
Yes.
So that's great news. But the larger question is, more of the beer that you make will be going into cans and will be on store shelves. But really, this is the house that the Pineapple Wheat built. Can you kind of walk me through that?
It was just like one-off, like any other beer, and it was made of pineapple wheat and just kind of snowballed, and it was going to be a seasonal, and just snowballed into what it's become today. And we can't keep up with production through the 53rd Street facility, so yeah.
So we're gypsy brewing for a little bit.
How you were gypsy brewing?
Yeah.
What is
We're
that
going
term?
a couple different breweries to brew some beer to keep up with demand.
For a while that we were doing that.
The system that you have at 53rd Street is a different system in how you brew the beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Walk me through the differences.
That's a 8.5 barrel electric system.
It's electric.
Yes, this is.
Woogie, woogie, woogie. Sorry, I can't help myself.
That's all right. No.
My apologies to Marcia Griffiths. Is that who sings the electric slide? I'm getting at the electricity that's used over there is different from what you're using.
Yeah,
here.
it's steam jacketed brew house here.
So does that mean the beer is going to taste different?
No.
Oh, we actually can adjust our boils to make sure that the kind of tastes the same.
Okay. So when someone says, and invariably they will,
Oh, of course.
I like the beer better when it was made at 53rd Street. They don't know what they're talking about. When you're working at a beer at this sort of scale, you said that it's beer, making beer is making beer. But there are some differences. Walk me through the minutia of what's different here as opposed to at 53rd Street.
Well, here we have a two vessel brew house.
Now, does that mean you can only make 2
Three.
beers at a time?
We can only make one.
You can make 1 beer at a time?
Yeah. 1 beer per day.
One per day.
You know what I would have told you if I knew that all these years ago? I would have said you need to build a production facility. So at 53rd Street, whenever you're making a beer, that's the beer you're making, and that's it.
That's beer for the day. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Usually takes 2 days to fill those tanks there, so it's 2 brews.
Now here, how many beers could you make in theory simultaneously in like a month?
In a month, a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you haven't been doing this a month.
Well, yeah.
So I guess that's a question I'm asking you to
we
kind
could
of
do 90,
future think.
We could do 90 barrels a day here. So 3 turns in about, well, it took us 12 and a half hours yesterday. Kind of tired today. And so much quicker, way more volume than we can get out of there.
This is, we want to make this very clear. This is a production facility. And it's a gorgeous building, but this is not this part of where we're at. This is not something the public will be coming and seeing and touring and hanging out. And there is not going to be any way for a consumer to enjoy Five Cities Brewing here. You already have a place for that.
Yes, not in the facility here. If they show up here, we'll put them to work. So.
Okay, well, you've been warned.
Yes.
Massive, beautiful facility, and again, this is probably as close as you're going to get to it, unless you come knocking on the door looking for work, in which case, if you've got a strong back, they'll take you, it sounds like. And if you've got a quick first step, because it seems like the longer we sit here and talk, the more nervous they're getting about another bell or, now you got me skittish, another bell or whistle going off here at the production facility for Five Cities Brewing, Bettendorf, Iowa, and now here in LeClaire. Patrick, Scott, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And cheers. The drive-thru is just for coffee at this moment, right? Or can you get beer? Can I get a growler, really?
Yes.
Of any of the beers that you have here?
Yes.
What?